Hello again, it's your old friend Theta, the Monotone Messiah. Today, we'll be talking about everything you need to get started in VR FPS games. This video is designed specifically for you if you spend a lot of time in pancake games like CSGO, Valorant, Call of Duty, Overwatch, etc., and want to give the VR format a try. Or if you're already deep into VR FPS games and want your pancake pals to give it a shot, you can share this with them so you don't have to spend as much time explaining it to them. If you hang out until the end, I'll give you some bonus accessory recommendations and some information about VR eSports so you can get the absolute most out of your VR experience. The first thing you need to do if you want to play VR anything is get a headset. Even though this will inevitably change as time goes on, right now there are two viable options: the Valve Index and the Oculus Quest 2. The Index is a wired headset that runs PC VR games and is widely considered a luxurious, capable piece of hardware. It runs on what's often called external tracking, where sensors are placed around the room to track where your head and hands are. The big downside is that it's expensive, as a full kit will run you around $1,000 US. It's also likely to be eclipsed by the incoming next generation of VR headsets, and every single person I know with an Index has had issues with the thumbsticks or something else going out. The Quest 2, on the other hand, offers most features of the Index plus some added benefits. It's way cheaper, with the base model starting at $299 for the 64GB model, and it's wireless. Plus you can plug in a link cable or run a program called Virtual Desktop to run it on your PC wirelessly, and play any PC VR game the Index can play. Tracking is slightly worse than the Index, but not enough to be an issue. I play on a Quest 2 and have yet to feel like the tracking is bad enough to cause serious problems. It's worth mentioning that you'll need to sign in with your Facebook account if you buy a Quest 2, which many people are not cool with. You can control what gets revealed to others on the Oculus platform through the privacy controls, but I get it if you don't like the idea of Zuck looking over your shoulder in VR. It is a little bit of a deal with the devil. My recommendation is to buy a Quest 2 64GB model for $299. It's a quick, inexpensive introduction to VR, and if you want to really go the distance with something more extravagant after you've given it a shot, or you don't want Facebook playing with your data, return it and buy an Index. The next step is to buy gun stock, or stock for short. What's a stock, you ask? It's a device that simulates holding a gun with spots to mount your controllers in a way that mimics where your hands would go on that gun. You don't need a stock to get started. Many people play free-handed, but it will make hitting your shots much easier, and for many people the immersion factor is much higher since you feel like you're holding a real weapon. I know it's more money to spend, but I always tell new players they should give stocks a shot just so they can see how much of a difference it makes. If you don't like it, you can always return it and go back to freehanding. There are two viable options out there at the moment: ProTube and Boke. While a few other brands exist and many others are available on 3D printing sites, these are the best around. ProTube has historically been the flagship stock brand, as they have been around forever and tons of people use their gear. Their stocks use magnets that allow you to quickly move your controllers between freehand and the stock itself, and they even have some cool add-ons like the Force Tube module, which simulates recoil. They are very expensive, and if you have an Index, their current mounting solution as of the making of this video involves zip ties. I'm also not a fan of how you have to adjust the stock itself to get the alignment right, which in turn makes it a slightly less stable platform. Boke stocks, on the other hand, are designed to be as lightweight and stable as possible, which are both critical features for anyone who wants to be able to hit quick, reliable shots. I've been using a Boke for a while now, and I can't imagine using anything else. Boke stocks are the lightest stocks around, and their design allows you to get a clean shoulder pull every single time you bring your controllers up. There aren't many downsides aside from the fact that, as of today, there isn't a model designed to work with the Index. That may have changed by the time you watch this. My recommendation is that you buy a Boke stock. The JB Signature Series is $85 US as of the making of this video, but even if you're looking for something a little less expensive to dip your toe in the water with, buy one of his freestyle kits for $45 US. You can mount it on a stick, and that will save you some money. You can find all these products at bokevr.com. Next, you need to pick a game. You don't have to stick with just one, of course, but most people tend to have strong preferences when it comes to the style of shooter they like to play. There are 4 dominant games in the VR FPS world right now: Population 1, Pavlov, Contractors, and Onward. Population 1, or Pop 1, is the only real choice in VR for those of you who enjoy the Battle Royale format. It's a high TTK run and gun with one hand, fly through the air between tall buildings, carnage fest. If you're into Fortnite or Call of Duty Warzone, this is your game. Pavlov and Contractors are more geared towards players who enjoy arcade-style shooters with higher TTKs, respawns, and mechanics like jumping. If you're a fan of games which focus on action above all else, like the Call of Duty franchise, these games will suit you well. Finally, Onward is the current king of tough, low TTK, squad-based VR FPS games. The emphasis is on teamwork. You can die in a single shot if you get hit in the head. There aren't respawns in the primary game mode, and in general, it's an intense experience. Onward is for the hardcore CSGO and Valorant crowds, or for people who want the most challenging and rewarding experience possible from a VR FPS game. It's not for the faint of heart, but that's what makes it so great. My recommendation is you go buy Onward. In my opinion, it has the best gunplay and game dynamics out of all the VR FPS games, and it can show you just how immersive a VR FPS game can be. If you end up not enjoying that kind of gameplay, then just go through all the others until you find the one that suits your taste, but start with Onward. If you've made it this far, it's time for the bonus accessories section. Each one of these will be linked in the description in case you want to give them a spin. If you're going the Quest 2 route, then it makes sense to buy a battery pack. This will allow you to play for much longer than the standard 2 hours you get from a stock Quest 2. My recommendation is an Anker PowerCore Slim 10,000 PD. This is what I use, and it's gone for over 4 hours without a problem. For those of you with a decent gaming PC, you have a couple of options for playing PC VR on a Quest. First up is the Link cable. Oculus sells their own branded cable for $80, but any decent USB-C cable will do. I use another Anker product, which is recommended by Oculus itself, that costs about $20. Plus I had an extension cable laying around that I plugged into it for a little more freedom of movement. Second wireless option is Virtual Desktop. This is a $20 piece of software that allows you to stream VR games wirelessly from a PC straight to your headset. You'll need a decent Wi-Fi setup and a fairly powerful rig, but if you have both, then I can't recommend this approach enough, as Virtual Desktop lets you have all the benefits of being wireless with all the visual fidelity benefits of being wired. The last type of accessory you'll need is a head strap. The default Quest head strap is awful, and as my friend Chief Pineapple has put it, feels like a thong on your head. The 2 routes you can take are either buying an Elite head strap from Oculus, which is $50 for the standard version, or $130 for the version which contains a battery pack within the strap itself, or the Vibe Deluxe audio strap. The Vibe Deluxe audio strap is considered the more robust option since the Elite strap has been known to break, but the Vibe Deluxe audio strap requires a $20 adapter, which you can buy from Etsy, Amazon, or a variety of other sites, on top of the $100 price tag for the strap itself. This is the best time ever to get involved in VR eSports. It's starting to get large enough that it will hit critical mass before too long. This means there's a small window before it will explode and become much harder to break into. If you're coming from the world of CSGO, Call of Duty, or any other major esport, then you know how insanely competitive those worlds are. Only people who have devoted their entire lives to their games can make it now, and even then the odds are slim. But VR is not quite to that stage yet. You can play with the best players in the game and get good quickly, and be in an excellent position by the time VR esports really pops. It's approaching an inflection point where all the pieces are in place for explosive growth, but that spark which sets it off still hasn't quite arrived. This is the time to get in early. With all this in mind, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain by checking out the VR esports scene. It's free, it's a great time, and there are cash prizes at the end of every season. Even if you end up not enjoying it, you won't be out of pocket for anything. The biggest name in VR esports leagues at the moment is the VR Master League, also known as the VRML. To get involved, go to vrmasterleague.com and sign up. I have some videos about this specific process, but the key is to pick a game and sign up as a reservist. Once you do that, you can participate in scrims and even real matches with teams in the league. Do it enough and you'll get picked up on a squad. then it's only a matter of time before you're facing off against players like me at the master level. That should be more than enough for you to get started. Until next time, this is Theta, signing off.